Welcome back to another episode of the Western Blend podcast. In this podcast, I'm going to do a 100-day report as an assistant cow horse trainer. It's been a little over 100 days, but just now getting some time to sit down and try to record this. So another solo podcast, and I got this idea from TJ Beers, who was on for episode 4. So if y'all haven't listened to that one, check it out. But this is something he did in the military when they'd get a new position. After 100 days, you'd sit down and write a report, and it'd be something you could pass on to the next guy that would take that role. Just kind of like your lessons and takeaways in that position for the first 100 days to help get the next person rolling. So I thought that was a really cool idea and figured I'd try to sit down and record this. So yeah, here we go with another solo episode. I think the biggest takeaways so far have been just think about those cowboy proverbs that you hear all the time when it refers to horse training and stuff, like make the wrong thing hard and the right thing easy, pressure and release. Horses are going to learn from the release. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter what the pressure is. As long as you're good with your timing on the release, they're going to learn what you want to teach them. And then we do a lot of, talking and thinking about creating walls and then opening a door. So, I mean, it's that same idea with pressure and release, but that wall is going to be pressure. It could be your legs, your hands, even your seat, really. And then that door, could be taking a leg off or opening a rein up or, any number of things, relaxing your leg. I mean, even letting them find the hole to pick themselves up. So if you close the door in the front with your hands and you put your legs on, closing the back door, that release to the pressure is up. So they're going to pick their withers up, pick their back up, learn how to collect themselves and carry themselves. So just thinking about those kind of things and really breaking them down of what they actually mean. So there's a ton more, blanking on a lot of them, but I mean, anytime you hear one of those cowboy proverbs, just sit and think about it, because there's something to it. There's something you can take away from it, something you can learn from it that's going to help you with your horse, or if you're trying to become a trainer or anything like that. So that's one of the big things. And Josh, my boss, who I really need to have on this podcast, but he's really good at sitting and thinking about those things and breaking it down and using it when he's training. He's also really a deep thinker about stuff and breaks stuff down and thinks about the mechanics of things. So there's the mechanical side where, you do this, you're going to get X result, just the way the horse is going to be shaped or move. There's the mechanical side of getting them to do stuff, but then there's the horse's brain side. And a lot of the proverbs are more about their brain, but if you're thinking about both, you can get a lot done with a horse, especially a green horse. Like, you can get a lot more done than you think you can in a lot shorter amount of time. So that said, another big takeaway is there are no shortcuts. I feel like everyone wants the fix to something that's going on with their horse and just think it's like one simple thing that you can just tell them and now their horse is going to do X the way they want. And it's really not the case. I mean, you can give them drills or different things to work on or practice, but if they're just mindlessly like doing that drill and don't think about it and really break it down, they're not really going to learn anything, because a lot of it is timing and feel, especially timing the release, which is where the horse is going to learn. And if you're not thinking about those things and you're just mindlessly going through it and just riding around, you're really not going to get any better, and you're really not going to teach your horse anything. So, and I just heard or saw a clip from Clinton Anderson about that kind of stuff and just how important time and reps are in this. And he talked about, if you haven't, done 60 days on 200 head, you should just shut your mouth when it comes to anything horse training, because you don't have the experience. The experience trumps everything. You could be the most well-read, watch all the videos, whatever, like be able to break stuff down, and like you could probably tell someone how to train a horse, but you probably can't do it yourself because it takes time and it takes reps. So that's another thing. And along with that, I mean, just get on as many horses as you can, different horses, finished horses, colts, problem horses. The more reps you get with those different horses, because they're all going to be different, the better you're going to be. And to further that, with them all being different, I mean, that's another thing you got to think about too. And, you ride one way to get something. You try to ride a different horse that same way, you're probably not going to get the same result. You might, depending on the horses, but I mean, even something simple like working a cow or working the flag, some horses are going to kind of want to go in there, and you're going to have to hold them up out of the cow or the flag with your cow side leg. But other horses are going to be more, I guess, maybe scared, or however you want to word it. They're going to try to push away from that flag or the cow, and you're going to have to use your herd side leg to hold them up in there and show them like, no, it's okay, I want you to stay here, you got to hold this position. So just stuff like that where each horse isn't the same. So especially if you've only been on a couple and you think you're some whiz horse trainer, you're get put on something else and you're gonna find out real quick they're not all the same. But another thing is just being super conscious when you ride. It's easy to just go around and go through the motions and whatever, but you're really not going to get that far with your horsemanship or your horse if you're just getting on there and loping around, trotting around, whatever. Like, okay, your horse can go around fine, but what do they really know? What have you really taught them? What level are you trying to get to? If you're not thinking about, okay, where's each foot falling when I do this? What have I attached X cue to? That's something Josh and I talk about a lot is, checking your cues and seeing what they're really attached to. Like, take a step away from what you're trying to get done and just check something. Maybe pull back on your inside rein and see what that horse is going to do. Are they going to fall in? Are they going to draw back? Are they just going to turn off it? Are they going to counterbend the opposite way from where you want? Like, all these different things. See what you actually have that cue hooked to. But just being able to think about those things, and even after you're done riding, to take some time and reflect and be like, okay, this horse was struggling with this today. What was I doing? What was he doing? Where was his feet going? If you can think about their feet, I feel like that'll fix a lot of things. But again, that's a thing that takes a lot of feel to know where that footfall is, depending on the cues and what you're doing. But just, the more time you can spend really thinking about it while you're riding or after you're riding, you're going to get a lot more out of the time you put in. It's really easy to just check out mentally and go around, but really all you're doing is just exercising a horse at that point. If you really want to get yourself better and improve yourself as a horseman and make your horse a lot better, the more you can really think about things and think them through and break stuff down into smaller and smaller pieces, the better you're going to be, and the better your horse is going to be, and the better you're going to be for future horses, because you're going to have a way deeper understanding of the horse and yourself and how what you're doing affects them. So this next one might be a little bit of an oddball, and I think it's a clip from a movie, and I can't remember what it is. I don't think I've ever actually seen the movie, but I've just seen the clip. And it's this lady interviewing this guy, and she basically asks, like, what's the biggest lie you've ever been told? And he takes a second, thinks about it, and he goes, it's not that simple. And she's like, why not? And he's like, no, that's the biggest lie. And they kind of go back and forth, and she's like trying to dig deeper into it, and he's like, no, it's not that simple is the biggest lie. Like, it is that simple. I think that goes back to the cowboy proverbs and thinking about those things. People tell you it's not that simple, but it is. Like, it all is very simple. We just like to overcomplicate it and make it this big thing that's really hard to figure out, and you might as well not even try. But you need to just do the thing, and then it is that simple. And I think that carries over a lot with the horses, and something I struggle with a lot is getting out of their way, which again is another one of those cowboy proverbs. And the more you can pitch that horse away and let them do what they're going to do and see where you have them, the better you're going to be. And then when they go off that course that you have them on or whatever, you can correct them and then pitch them away again, give them their head, like, let them go, do what they're going to do, and then correct it again. And that's how you're going to actually teach one. You can babysit one all the time, and I'm guilty of doing it without really realizing it sometimes. Like, I'll have a hold of them, but I don't really have a hold of them, but I still have a hold of them. And I'm scared of letting them make that mistake. But that's not how they learn, and that's not how you learn. And that's another one of the big takeaways, is you have to be willing to mess stuff up. I don't think anyone wants to mess stuff up. You always want to do stuff right, but it shows, especially for me, like working cows. I really struggle to just pitch the horse away and let them work. But that's how you test to see where they're at. So the more you can pitch them away and then help them where they need, and then pitch them away again and just go back and forth with that, the faster and the better you're going to get that horse trained, and the more you're going to learn. Because really, you want that horse to be able to work that cow on its own, like without you there, really. I mean, you're there to help them. These horses are green, but they're never going to learn if you always do it for them. And when you're in a pressure moment, that horse is going to be able to read a cow way faster than you can read a cow, and then tell the horse what to do, and then you're already behind, and the horse has to catch up, and then they're checked out because you got after them, and all these different, it just creates a world of problems. The more that horse can just do it for you, the better. And man, I'm totally drifting off on my train of thought, but the more you can pitch a horse away and let them do their thing, and then if you need to, help them and show them that they're doing the right thing and build their confidence that way, you're going to have a way better horse. And again, with that idea of not being afraid to make mistakes, especially if you're like in my shoes as an assistant trainer, I mean, you're not expected to know everything and get everything right. So you need to be willing to try stuff. And I mean, you might get it wrong, but you're an assistant trainer. Ideally, there's someone there with more experience and more knowledge that is gonna, they might let you struggle for a while and try to figure it out on your own, but they're gonna step in when they need to and help you out and teach you stuff. But if you don't even try it, you're never gonna get that opportunity for them to help you and to teach you and show you things and help you learn. And I mean, truthfully, that's something I struggle with a lot, because I mean, no one wants to look like an idiot or not be able to do something. Like, you want to be competent, especially if it's something that you're passionate about and you really want to be good at it. And, as Josh says, like, you got that dog and you want it bad enough. You want to be good at it. So it's hard to put yourself out there and, potentially show that you're not that good and you don't know all these things. But if you don't do that, you're slowing your potential growth down by not trying to do stuff, being willing to mess up, and then being open to being critiqued and being open to receiving knowledge and different ideas on how to do different stuff. So that's another big one, and something I honestly struggle with, and I think a lot of people do, because like I said, no one wants to look like a fool. But the more willing you are to do that, the quicker and further you're going to get in less time. Moving on from that, though, I'll try to get into some advice here to kind of wrap it up. And the biggest thing, if you're an assistant trainer, is you better be willing to bust your ass. I mean, I guess anything in the Western world, really, and horse training, I mean, it's a grind. Like, you're putting in longer hours than you probably would anywhere else. You're working harder than you probably would anywhere else. And I guess that's a good check to find out if it is something you want to do and if you really do love it, because you'll find out quick, because it can be a grind, and it's all but 7 days a week, 10-12 hour days, and you will find out really quick if it is for you or not. But then going on from that, if you want to get better, like I kind of said earlier, just ride as many as you can, different horses, finished horses, colts. The more you can get on, the better. I mean, and do it where you're conscious about it. Like I was talking about earlier, the more you can spend time thinking about it and really trying to learn while you do it and not just going through the motions, it's going to shorten that learning curve. You're going to get way better so much quicker. And like we just talked about, don't be afraid of making those mistakes and being open to being critiqued and criticized, and that's how you're going to learn. I feel like the Western world as a whole, everyone feels like you should just know all these things, and you feel like you need to know these things and you don't want to mess stuff up. But I mean, that's just the way it is. You're not going to know everything. And if someone is really beating you up because you didn't know something and expected you to know something, that's really not your fault. You got to find someone that's willing to take some time and help you out there and doesn't get mad at you when you mess something up. At least you tried. I think try is something that you can't really teach, and it's the same with horses. The good ones are going to have that try, and you can get after them and they're still not going to quit trying. They just want to be on your team and get better. So just be that person that you can take it, but you're there trying to get better and keep that in the back of your mind. But I think that's about all I have for this one. Another kind of short and sweet little episode here. These solo podcasts are kind of fun, but they're also really tough because it's, at least with my brain, it's really easy to drift off and start thinking about other stuff while I'm still talking about something else and kind of lose my train of thought at times. But hopefully y'all could find some takeaways from this and you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd appreciate you sharing it out with somebody else, because that's the best way to grow these kind of things. If y'all have guests that you want me to get on or topics you want me to try to talk about, feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram or just leave a comment on the episode wherever you listen, Spotify or YouTube, and give it a like while you're there. I really appreciate it. Like I said about in the last solo episode, really trying to keep the podcast going. It's a lot tougher with my current schedule, but not giving up on it yet. I'm hoping to get a bunch of people on here. Got a pretty good list. Got a bunch of people that are willing to come on, just haven't made it work out yet. So stay with us and we'll catch y'all on the next one.